Good morning, Masters. Thank you all for taking time to join and welcome to day 7 for the power of now. And thank you, Manigara.
Thank you, Bharti Garu. Welcome to the session, chapter 4, to the power of session, power of now. My immense heartfelt gratitude to Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji, Sri Swarnamala Patriji, and my parents, gurus, and the universe. Mind strategies for avoiding the now. Loss of now, the core delusion. So this is a how mind will strategize for avoiding being in the present moment. He's saying here, even if I completely accept that ultimately time is an illusion, what is the difference that going to make in my life? I still have to live in a world that is completely dominated by time. So, masters, in the last chapter we discussed about time, right? Time is an illusion. So the one they're asking the question that, but if you want to live in a day-to-day life, worldly life, we have to follow the time, right? But how will be detached from the mind? He's asking. So intellectual agreement is just another belief and won't make much difference to your life. So this is intellectual agreement. To realize this truth, you need to live with it. So what is a time? Time worldly. So for a world-wise, we will follow the time, but still, intellectual agreement is just a belief. It's a belief. Won't make much difference to us. He's saying. To realize that we need to live it. When every cell of our body is so present that it feels vibrant with life, when you can feel that life every moment as a joy of being, then it can be said that you are free of time. So when you will know that you are not playing by mind is that every cell of our body, it has to feel the vibrant with life. So you have to connect it to every cell of our body, he's saying. So that cell has to be feel every moment joy of being. So it should be in the joy, ourselves. Then we can say that we are in the free of time. Even though we follow time, we do at 7 o'clock something, 8 o'clock something, but still our body, every cell, it has to feel life, joy of being. Other question they're asking is, see, how can I ever say that I'm free of time because I have all bill, I have to pay the bill, I have to do this, some problem is there like that. So how I will say that I'm free of time? He's answering his question. Tomorrow bill is not problem. Physical body is not, dissolution of physical body is not problem. Loss of now is the problem. So if you lose now, if your cells of the body are not having joy of being, right, that is the problem. Rather, the core delusion that turns a mere situation, event, or emotion into a personal problem and into suffering. So what is the problem here is some event and emotion, we take it as a personal and then we'll suffer it. So loss of now is loss of being. So if you lost the present moment and take some event and emotion and we suffer it, so then we will lose the now being. So we won't be, we will be somewhere else. We won't be in our body, and we won't be in the present moment. That is the loss he's saying. When we had our first glimpses of the timeless state of consciousness, so he's telling how we have to work on it. Okay. You begin to move back and forth between the dimensions of time and presence. So whenever you think, okay, you are not in the present moment, again come back to present moment. So first you become aware of just how rarely your attention is truly in the now. First you have to aware, like, no, I'm not in the present moment. I'm very rarely I'm in the present moment. Either I'm thinking about past or thinking about future. So we discussed like last class, if you think about past, it will give us anxious tension, all those things. If you think about future, it will fear. So don't think about past or future. Aware of just now how rarely your attention is truly in the now, but to show that you are not present is a great success. That knowing this is presence, even if initially it only lasts for a couple of seconds. So initially when we practice to be in the present moment, right, we will be in the present moment only couple of seconds. Okay, so when we are in the present moment, it is called clock time. But when we are in the dwelling in the past or future, that is called psychological time. So when you are in the clock time, okay, before it lasts again, then with increasing frequency you choose to have the focus of your consciousness. So when you are in the present moment, right, that clock time, right, so you before you lose that and go back to this psychological time, or future or past, so you increase your frequency. With increasing frequency, you choose inside your heart, you want to focus the your consciousness in the present moment rather than in the faster. So it's our choice is telling we have to choose being in the present moment. And whenever you realize that you had lost the now, you are able to stay in not just for a couple of seconds, but for longer periods as perceived from the external perspective of clock time. So you keep on trying this, then you will improve. You will stay more time in clock time, less time in the psychological time. So before you are firmly established in the state of, so once, just to say you are fully conscious, you shift back and forth for a while between consciousness and unconsciousness. So if you're in the present moment, you will be in consciousness. If you are thinking about past or future, you will be unconsciousness state, right? So you will be shift between this present moment to future or past. So between the state of present and the state of mind identification, you lose the now and you return to it. So whenever you feel okay, my mind is giving me some identifying everything, it's judging everything, it's labeling everything, it's not accepting, it's resisting everything. So how we'll know is when we started labeling others and we started finding faults with others, we have to know that we are not in the now. So if you are with the mind, it will do all these false things, right? Finding faults with others, not accepting the situation where it is. Like your life, you won't accept it, and the people in your life also you won't accept. When you are with the mind, you will try to find the faults in them, and you try to label them, judge them, criticize them. Even you criticize yourself also, even you label yourself also. So that kind of things when you are doing, realize that you are not in the present moment, and try to come back to present moment. So you keep practicing this exercise fully, so one day you will be ever fully conscious. Most humans alternate not between consciousness and unconsciousness, but only between different levels of unconsciousness. Generally, we won't go to consciousness instantly. So there is levels in unconsciousness. So that past and future, being in the past and future also, there are levels. Generally, we will, without practice, if you don't practice anything, any spiritual practices or meditation, if you don't do anything, generally you will be always in the unconsciousness only. But in that unconsciousness, there will be levels. You will oscillate between levels of unconsciousness. But reading books, being with nature, meditation, all these brings you to consciousness. So that consciousness, if you want to go, you have to you have to choose, I want to be conscious. Ordinary unconsciousness and deep unconscious. So he's telling now about unconsciousness, how it will be. So there is a levels he's explaining, right? So what are the levels is ordinary and deep. There are two levels in unconsciousness, like being in the past or future, there are two levels. See, in the dream also there are two levels. Dream with either you will be in the dream, in the sleep also you have two levels. Either you will be in the dream or without dream. Both times you sleep only, right? So like that, you have ordinary unconsciousness, deep unconscious. Both are you are not aware about present moment, right? That is similarly in wakefulness, most people only shift between ordinary and deep unconsciousness. What I call ordinary unconsciousness means being identified with your thought process and emotions, your reactions, desires, and aversions. So when your mind is identified with thoughts, desires, aversions, reaction, it is most people's normal state. So we are generally in that state only all the time, identified with the thoughts, emotions, reactions, desires, and aversions. In that state, you are run by egoic mind. So if you are in ordinary unconsciousness state, whatever egoic mind sends, you will do that. And you are unaware of being. And you don't know what is being. Like you won't feel that connection with your inner self. It is a state of not of, but it won't give you any pain or unhappiness, but low level of unease, discontent. You won't be happy what you have. You will be like unhappiness, boredom. You feel bored, nervousness, this kind of things. So remember, whenever you feel bored, you think, oh, I'm feeling so bored. Why I'm so unhappy, unease. You won't feel with joy or peace or happiness. Then you realize that you are an normal unconscious, ordinary unconscious. Your mind is in ordinary unconscious state, a kind of background static. You may not realize this because it is so much part of normal living. So you won't realize that even though you are in that state, you won't realize that you are in that state because this is normal living for every human being. Just as you are not aware of continuous low background noise, such as human air conditioner, you won't aware, right? Sometimes air conditioner or heater will make noise. You won't aware. Once it stops, you are aware that, oh, it's not working, like that. So like that, normal unconsciousness in every human being, it is going on. That's why human beings will be so unhappy, and they'll feel nervousness, unease, discontent, all those things. When it suddenly does stop, there is a sense of relief. So when it is stopped, right, that all those things, normal unconsciousness, you feel so relief. For that, to get that relief, people use alcohol, food, work, television, shopping. So you make worldly pleasures generally because you want to remove the unease from you. So you are so unease, you want to remove that uneasiness in you. That's why people will go to different habits, like window shopping, watching TV, and even sometimes work also. So some people will work like anything because they want to be in the present moment. They want to remove that uneasiness inside them. When this happens, an activity that might be very enjoyable if used in modern becomes imbued with compulsive, addictive quality. It will become addictive for you. So some people will work, even though they don't need to work also, they can rest also, but still they won't rest. They'll still keep on working, cleaning that thing, washing this thing. They'll keep on working. They don't need to work also that much, but still they'll work without thinking about other things around them. They won't think about their body. Body needs rest. So they'll overwork, or they'll overeat, and they'll unnecessarily watch all trash in the television, and they will buy things which are not needed for the home. So all those activities they do because to remove the uneasiness in them. So it will become an addiction. Okay, one day if they don't go for shopping, they'll feel uneasiness inside them. One day if they won't work, if they take leave, they won't be happy. So realize that it will, all these things will become addictive. So you have to think, if you don't take food one day, are you unhappy? If you don't go work one day, you are unhappy. Or if you stop, so that's why break the routine, right? One day take only liquids and see how you are. One day don't watch TV at all and see how you are. One day don't buy anything, don't go to shopping, then see how you are. So all these things, these routines, you break it and focus on yourself. But whatever you achieve, why we can do that? So to remove an uneasiness, but why we cannot do that? Like eating something or working, television, shopping, alcohol, drugs. Why we are not supposed to do? He's telling the reason is they are short-lived, extremely short-lived. Again, you will feel unease after some time. When you are buying, you will be so excited and you will buy the any external thing. But after you buy that, after some time, again you go back to uneasy state. You won't be happy. The unease of ordinary unconscious turns into the pain of deep unconsciousness. So one day, this ordinary will become deep when you keep on doing these things, right? When you keep on being in the normal unconsciousness, so once it will turn into deep unconsciousness. So more acute, more suffering, more unhappiness when things go wrong. So how you know that when it went to deep is when something didn't happen according to your will, then you will be suffering and you will be so unhappy. So you want everything go according to your will. You won't treat like yogi. Yogis how they do. Even they gain or lose, they will be they won't lose their inner calmness, right? So you won't be like that. So if anything, suppose somebody didn't come that day to help you, or some people like whatever small things in the it won't go how you think. You will be it will go more suffering, unhappiness when the ego is threatened or there is a major challenge. So and also any loss, like people, you will lose something like people or money or whatever, and a threat is somebody threat you, or there is a real or imagined in your life situation or conflict, some conflict come in your relationship, somebody say something to you, then you will be in a you will go to deep unconsciousness state and you will suffer a lot. So why this deep unconsciousness state is came is from the beginning we are not conscious. We are always in the unconsciousness state, but we will get ease by doing some things which will make you keep in the present moment, or which will time pass works we will do, right? Like simply doing things like a machine. So what is the problem in being like that, he's telling, because it may turn future one day a pain of deep unconsciousness. Then what will happen is the deep unconsciousness cannot take anything go wrong. It cannot take any loss, it cannot take any threat, so it wants the life to be very smooth. So if any conflict come in a relationship, or any loss or anything happen, you cannot take it, you cannot handle it. It is an intensified version of ordinary unconsciousness. Different form, it is not in a kind, but in a degree. It is not a different form. That is also unconsciousness. This is also unconsciousness, but the degree is different, he's saying. So you have to think about yourself. When you lose something, how you are reacting. You are going to deep suffering, or you are taking it, it's okay, it's not belong to me, that's why I lost it. Um, or when something go wrong in your life, you pay attention on yourself. How I'm taking that, if somebody didn't come on time, how I'm taking it, like if somebody don't do what I told, how I'm taking it, is I'm taking with ease, or I'm feeling suffering or pain, unhappy, like that. You pay attention on yourself. When things go wrong, that time is the greatest opportunity for you to check yourself how you are. If you cannot be present even in normal circumstances, such as when you are sitting alone in a room, so you have to practice by sitting alone in a room, walking in the woods, or listening to someone. Then you certainly won't be able to stay conscious when something goes wrong. So you have to practice being in the present moment when you are listening to somebody. So somebody is telling something to you, but you won't pay attention, right? Sometimes, then you have to practice that. When you are walking in the woods, you have to observe um, how the breeze is coming and touching you, how the trees are there, like around whatever. You have to be in that moment. Don't go to past or future. Oh, I have to go home now, do this, do that. Don't do that. Okay, you make it a practice. Or when you're sitting in a room, just observe yourself, don't think about anything. So if you keep on practicing that, then you will body will be, your mind will be used to go to consciousness state. So what is the problem if you don't do that is, if something goes wrong, you won't be unconscious, a conscious state. You will so you're faced with difficult people or situation, with loss or threat of the loss, you will be taken over by reaction. So if, see, if some difficult situation come to your life, or some difficult person came to your life, then you will react more. So if you don't react to different people or difficult situations or loss or threat of loss, okay, sometimes you will have threat also. Oh, I may lose this. What will happen? How I live my life if I lose this? Because we are attached to things around us, right? So we will have that fear also. And even if you really lost also, you can't take it. That is the problem being unconsciousness state. So when we are in the normal unconsciousness only, we try to shift ourselves to consciousness by focusing on, uh, like when you are listening some music, be in that completely listen only. Just don't think about anything when you are listening some music, right? If you think about that, whoever wrote that music, how great they are, who are singing, how great they are. So only think about that song only, nothing else. So like that you can practice. Like when you're taking walk also, don't think I have to go home and do this and do that, like that. So just be there. So if you keep practicing that, so you will be more intervals, you will be in a conscious state. So why he is telling the problems here is, so that we are aware and we will take the step to be in the consciousness. So what will happen if you are in the normal unconsciousness state is, you will react. So what will happen if you react? If you react, which ultimate is always some form of fear. Okay. And then after your reaction, you will go to fear or anxiety, whatever, past or future. Okay. And then you will be pulled into deep unconsciousness. Then that fear or anxiety or that suffering will pull you to deep unconsciousness. Then you will suffer a lot. Those challenges are your tests. So treat those challenges as your tests. Okay. I have to pass in this exam, like that. So you have to pass in this test. Only the way in which you deal with them will show you and others where you are at, as far as your state of consciousness is concerned, not how long you can sit with your eyes closed or what visions you see. So he's telling, you have to test yourself. See whether you are when you are see, you will sit eyes closed, or you see some visions in the meditation, all those things. Other than that, you have to challenge yourself with these tests. If something goes wrong, if I face some difficult person, if I face some difficult situation, how I am behaving, whether I'm going into deep unconsciousness or deep suffering, or I'm handling with properly. How you are, in which you deal with them will show you others where you are at, as far as your state of consciousness is concerned. That is a test for you. So what we have only we will give to others, right? So if you are store hatred, anger, and unhappiness in the body, we will give. When situations come like that, we will give. We will started hating other person. We will started showing anger on other person, because that's what we have inside us. So we have to remove that inside. We have to fill ourselves with good qualities, so that we will be the God, right? We will reach that God level state only when we fill ourselves with good qualities. But how you know whether you fill yourself with good qualities or not is, when you face difficult situations or people, how you are reacting to it. Then you observe, then you'll know what you are having inside you. So if a cup will have coffee, it will only spill the coffee when somebody touched your hand. If a cup will have tea, it will fill only tea. If a cup will have milk, it will spill only milk. So when somebody spilled you, like when somebody hit you, any difficult situation or any difficult people when you face, then you know what you have in your cup. Yeah, okay. If you think, okay, that person is don't have wisdom, so that's why he's behaving like that. Maybe he's baby soul. That's why he's behaving like that. That's why he's talking like that. It's okay if you think and just give love to him. Then then you can think, okay, I have love inside me. But if you started criticizing that person, if you started blaming that person, and if you started hating that person because he is in your life, then you can you can realize that you have anger and hatred in your cup. So like that, you have to check. That's why life situations and difficult people will check your what you are storing inside you, and whether you are in the conscious always or unconscious or deep unconscious. All those things are tests for you. In this way, you grow in the presence power. It generates an energy field in you and around you of a high vibrational frequency. So if you keep going in the growing in the presence power, so you have to improve going to present moment. Then you will vibrate with high vibrational frequency. No unconsciousness, no negativity, no discord or violence can enter that field and survive. So even negativity enter into that field also. If you are fully with high vibrational frequency, it cannot survive. You cannot go to darkness or sadness or suffering. You will be always happy whatever happens, because you are in the presence of light. See, when you are in the light, it will be always light only. There is no room for darkness, right? Similarly, if you are conscious, ever conscious, then nothing can affect you. Telling. When you learn to the witness of your thoughts, so just be witness of your thoughts and emotions, which is an essential part of being present. You may be surprised when you first become aware of the background static of ordinary unconsciousness and realize how rarely, if ever, you are truly at ease within yourself on the level of your thinking. Okay, also you have to see when you are thinking some thought, whether you are easy inside, whether you are unhappy inside. So then stop thinking that thought. If you feel unhappy inside, see, like if you having some hatredness on any person, if you don't like some person doing something, then you have why this person always do like that? Why these things will come to me? Like that, if you think right, you won't be easy inside. Then you turn your thought, you shift your thought, thinking that it's okay, they are doing without, they don't know the right way of living, uh, or they're unaware of their things. So it's okay, I'm forgiving them. If you think like that, right, then you will shift back to consciousness state. You will find a great deal of resistance in the palm of. So what will happen is, if you are unconsciousness state, you will start judging that person, and you will be discontent, and you will and mental projection. So your thoughts will move you away from now. So on the emotional level, there will be an undercurrent of unease. So you feel inside uneasiness, tension, boredom, nervousness, all those things you feel inside. Both are aspects of mind in its habitual resistance mode. So when you feel all these things, you can think your mind is resisting something. It's not accepting. So these are the aspects of the mind resistance mode. What are they seeking? Carl Jung tells in one of his books a conversation he had with a Native American chief who pointed out him that in his perception, most white people have tense faces. So if you have tense faces, staring eyes, and cruel demeanor, they're always seeking something. So they want what they want. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they want. We think they are mad, but what they want is they have to be in the present moment. So which now covers almost entire globe, including most of the it manifests in an unprecedentedly acute form. So why they are uneasy is because they're already in the deep unconscious mode. That's why they are like that. So this unconsciousness is there at the time of Jesus. It is there at the time of Buddha. Also, he's saying. So Buddha asked his disciples, "Why are you always unconscious? You can an anxious thought add a single day to your life?" And Buddha taught that the root of suffering is to be found in our constant wanting and craving. So if you want something, if you crave for all the time for something, you will always be anxious, is Buddha told. Even Jesus also used to ask his disciple, by being anxious, see, if you have anxious thought, it won't add anything to your life. Jesus used to say. And Buddha used to say, if you always want something, constant wanting and craving, that is the root cause. Desire is the root cause of suffering, Buddha says, right? Even Satsai says you have to be sealing on desires. You have to seal. You can't come every time want like that. Okay, what I have, I'm happy. I'm content. Like that. You have to seal. Then only you will come to present moment. When then only you will be happy. Resistance, dissolving ordinary unconsciousness. Make it conscious. So how to dissolve this unconsciousness? So he's telling right before there are two levels, ordinary and deep unconsciousness. But initially only we have to dissolve it. But how to dissolve? He's saying, make it conscious. Observe the many ways in which unease, discontent, and tension arise within you through unnecessary judgment, resistance. So you have to observe yourself. Whenever any unease came to you, when any discontent came to you, when any tension came to you, you observe yourself. So how it comes to you is this unconsciousness in the form of a judgment, resistance. So you resist some people how they are. You will judge others how they are. So then you will go to denial of the now. Anything unconscious dissolves when you shine the light of consciousness on it. So you can dissolve it by putting the light on it. So what is that light is? Consciousness. So you be present of every cell of your body. You feel that and be in that moment, then you will dissolve that. Once you know how to dissolve ordinary unconscious, the light of your presence will shine brightly, and it will be much easier to deal with deep unconscious whenever you feel it's a gravitational pull. So when you slowly dissolving everyday unconsciousness, by shifting your thoughts, by shifting your focus, mm, then deep unconsciousness also one day you will pull back. You will pull back yourself because you are used to pull back from consciousness. When you are used to, when nothing goes wrong, you try every day pulling back to consciousness. Then when something goes wrong, you will pull back to consciousness. You will have that capability. See, when you drive, when you know car driving, when there is no traffic, no people around you, when you will one day you will drive with the people also, with the traffic also, everything, right? So similarly, so practice when you are in a good normal without any suffering or without any loss, without any difficult people, without any difficult situation, when you are normal day, you practice coming to shifting yourself to consciousness. Then if something happens to you, you will have that habit of coming back to consciousness. But the problem is it's very difficult to detect it. Ordinary unconsciousness, right? It is not easy to detect it because it is so normal, because we lived like that this many years in our life. It is become a problem for us to detect it, but we can still do it, he's saying. It is not initially easy, but try. All the time try. So how you will try is, he's giving the tips for here. You can ask, what's going on inside me at this moment? So you ask yourself, what is going on inside me at this moment? Be at least as interested in what goes on inside you as what happens outside. So you show interest on what's happening inside you instead of what happening outside. Okay, something happened outside, but what is happening inside you? Are you judging something? Are you resisting something? If you get the inside right, so you correct yourself inside, then outside will fall into place. So outside things are going wrong means inside you are not right. So if you set inside right, one day outside will be fine. Primary reality is within. Secondary reality is without. So what is happening outside is, it's just a mirror image of what you have inside. So you correct your inside. So outside situations going wrong means it is telling you indirectly you correct inside. But don't answer these questions immediately. Direct your attention inward. Have a look inside yourself. What kind of thoughts is your mind producing? Okay, when something is going wrong with you, go inside yourself and ask your mind what thoughts it is producing. What do you feel? Direct your attention into the body. Is there any tension? Once you detect that there is a low level of unease, the background static, see in what way you are avoiding, resisting, denying life by denying now. So you question yourself what you are avoiding, what you are resisting, why you are denying your life. You only choose, right? You only choose all the people around you. You only choose all life situations. Why you are denying now? So take it as a challenge and face it. Uh, so have fill yourself inside yourself divine qualities like forgiveness, loving, caring, not expecting anything from others. Uh, so you just give love to others, um, irrespective of what they are. See how take the example of nature. Sun will give its rays on even good person, bad person. Same way, right? Even trees will give fruits to good person or bad person. Even the woodcutter also, the he came to cut the tree also, he will give still fruits to him. He's going to cut the tree after he eats the fruit, but still he will. So you be like that. Even with your enemies also, you be loving because you are love. You can only give love to others. Because you are God always give others forgiveness and loving, right? So be like that. All the time forgive others, all the time. So think only what can I do? What can I do to others or the society or the world always? Don't think what can I get? Okay, only go in the giving mode. What can you get? It will come to you because universal laws. Whatever you give, you will get it. There, it will happen without your effort, but just focus on what you are giving to others, whether you are giving anger to others, whether you are giving um, criticism to others, whether you are rejecting others. And so you think inside yourself what you are giving to others. So how you will come out of this is self observation, you self monitoring your inner state. So you keep on doing this, one day you will be so good at it. You will all the time observe inside your mind what is happening. You all the time observe inside in what state you are. You make it into practice. Um, Masters, remaining things we will we'll discuss tomorrow. Now we do meditation. Close your eyes, clasp your hands, cross your legs. If anybody has specs, please remove it. If any thoughts come back to observe the breath incoming or outgoing. Last 3 minutes, masters. Last 30 seconds. Slowly rub your hands, keep on your eyes, and open your eyes with a gentle smile. If you have any experience about meditation or any questions, please talk, masters.
Yeah. Can you see my screen, Manidhara?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I think, today we're trying to get into the strategies of how we can avoiding the now or what is being done and how we can do it to improve. I think the first thing is to increasing our frequency. That will also increase our consciousness. I think one way to increase our frequency is what we are doing daily. Primarily, meditation is one way where we can increase our frequency, and then we can increasingly being more conscious that can help us to be in present moment or being in now. Along with that, I think looking inside and self-observance, those are really important, that can help analyze or look into ourselves and see how we are feeling and reacting. Sometimes when we look inside, if we feel like we are anger or resentment or hate, those are like the habitual qualities what we all have been inheriting from many days or many years or through journeys. It's primarily the resistance and also denial, not having something. Those are like the habits that we need to break. And those are like the negative things that will always bring us in, take us into an unconscious state. So that will decrease our level of consciousness. So to become more, so that's the reason we need to look inside and identify where do we stand, where is our current level of consciousness? Are we in a positive qualities and the positive states? They are like higher consciousness. When you look into this negative or something that's causing you uneasiness, they are all in the lower consciousness. That's the reason when we observe ourselves, we just need to question ourselves like, how am I feeling now with respect to myself? How do I feel? And the other thing, what we see most people, right? Like, constant wanting, craving. So they feel like, if we are constantly wanting and craving, that can help them be in a heightened level of consciousness. But it actually works in the reverse way. The reason why we always constantly want, like example, right? Some people go with shopping. I want to do constantly shopping or doing something, watching TV, things like that, right? Why you do is because you feel uneasiness being in the present moment and being in the conscious state. So you're trying to find something that can reduce that, that can elevate or like, that can remove some of that pain. But that's actually in the reverse way. So we should always try to reduce our constant wanting that can slow us down, calm us down, and take us into a more higher states of love, is love towards others, like, ease, and not having anger, like, being calm, peaceful, without fear and all of that. So the key thing is, masters, to increase our consciousness, we have to reduce that constant wantings, cravings for everything, every minute and every second. And we have to start giving, not always want taking from the society. We have to start giving love to others, to society, to everyone. That can help us increase our consciousness as well. Anything else, Manigar?
You covered everything today. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
okay,
for
awesome.
giving me this opportunity, doing Global PSSM team. Thanks a lot for attending Masters.
Awesome. So, masters, please try to practice all of these or at least one of these and make a difference in your day. And let's all be more present and more consciousness and identify the power of it. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
We'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good one.